Hey boys and girls, I decided to take a brain break and I'm gonna start dinner. So I am going to teach you how to make pierogi. So to get started, we need a dough. So I have my new mixer here, which I was excited to show you. And in my mixer, I am going to put 1 egg to get started. Okay, so here's my egg. I'm gonna crack it and put it into the bowl. And let's get this started. Okay, so while that egg is going, I'm gonna put 2 scoops of sour cream in. Like 2 big scoops, like that. So now I'm gonna pour in a cup of milk, and this is about to spill over, so I decided to put it in that way. Here's what's spilled out. And I'm using a whisk for this part just to make sure that it's incorporated. And then I'm gonna take about a cup of water and put that in as well. So now let's put the mixer back on. Clean up the work surface, and then we're gonna start putting the flour in. Okay, so the wet ingredients are inside, and now I'm gonna put about a cup of flour at a time until it starts to make a dough. So here is 1 cup, and here's my flour. And I'm just gonna shut that off for a minute and lift up the mixer. And we'll start that off. And while that's going in the mixer, I'll spin you around here, 5 pounds of potatoes that I peeled, and they're starting to boil. So those are going while my mixer's going. So in the kitchen, you have to multitask, right? You have to do a couple things at one time. And it looks great. So I think I'm gonna take it out now. Look at that, do you see it? So let's take off this and I'll show it to you up close. Do you see that dough forming? It's still very wet, but if you put too much flour in the dough, it becomes tough. So I'm gonna put a little flour onto my table, which I cleaned before. I'm gonna spread it around, and let's get that spatula. Giving that a couple good hits there with the flour. And I'm gonna get my scraper. So here's my scraper. And this helps you scoop the dough off the surface and kind of helps you keep it together. So, I'm just gonna clean everything up here, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so boys and girls, my potatoes are done, and I just drained them, and you can see how nice they look. And I have to mash them, but I have this cool tool here I wanna show you. This is called a ricer, okay? So how this works is if you take some potato, so I'm just gonna scoop up and put it in, and you put this like this, watch what happens. You see what's happening? It squirts the potatoes out, and it's gonna make them nice and smooth. So let me show you. See that right there? So I'm gonna keep going, and I'm going to rice all of my potatoes. Okay, so boys and girls, here are my nice hot potatoes that I just riced, and I'm gonna put them in. And to this, I'm going to add some Greek yogurt And I need a scooper, I'll use this. And this is about that much. I don't know, big cup. That's gonna add a nice tartness to it. I also have about a cup of melted butter, just going in. So here's some black pepper. We like a lot of pepper in our pierogi. Of course, you need some salt. So we'll sprinkle that in like that. Some yellow cheddar cheese, about maybe half the bag there. Now this makes a lot of filling, but you can see, I'm gonna mush it around. Oh, it looks fantastic. That ricer just made the potatoes lumpless. Look at that, they're perfect. I used to have a toy like that when I was little. Plato made it. So look at that. You know what, I'm gonna just go for it. Put the rest of that cheese in. Okay, so here's my dough, and I gave it time just to sit and rest. And now I'm gonna take some flour, and I'm gonna sprinkle it on the surface. Oh, I have to show you. These are what will help us make the pierogies. So you see, you put a circle of dough in here, you put the filling, and then you smush it, and it makes the little pastry. Okay, so boys and girls, I decided to have some of the pierogi for lunch for my brain break. So I have a little pot of hot water going here, and I'm gonna drop, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 of them inside of the water. And I will know when they are done because they will go to the bottom at first and then they'll rise up, and then I'll be ready to enjoy them. So I'll show you what they look like when they're done. All right, so boys and girls, my pierogi is finished. And you can see they're still steaming. They're out of the boiling water. And I put a little salt and pepper on it. And you can see what the inside looks like. And now it's time for the test. Fiona's not here, so I have to do it. They're delicious. So, I'm gonna enjoy my brain break with my pierogi. And tune in next time to another brain break, and we'll make something fun to eat. Have a great day, boys and girls. I'll see you soon.